David, good morning.
Hi, Joseph. Hi.
How are you?
Very well.
I'm very happy to see you in this place.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming.
You are in the middle of nowhere, I can say.
Actually, it's not so far, but it looks like it's the middle
Yeah,
of
but
nowhere.
if I didn't have the GPS, I couldn't find you. Never.
Absolutely.
Well,
but
So, you have a nice house here. Tell me about it. Tell me about... I don't know where to start from. You know better. Tell me about the house first. What I
So,
see.
the
here.
house, we bought the land in 2003. We built the house to be not only a house, but a place to work and a place to have seminars. So the whole idea of Helios Eco Lab is sustainability. We think we can demonstrate to the population at large that sustainability is practical and viable and affordable. So we can be kind to the environment, we can be kind to ourselves, and it's a new way of living that we want to show that it can work, because anyone can say this, but not everyone can demonstrate this. And really, when you live this life, then you realise, is it really viable? And the answer is yes, but there are certain challenges that you have to overcome, but there's many benefits, including the financial benefits.
Where are you from?
I'm from the UK. I was born in the UK, but now I live in Greece. And
For how long?
for how long? Actually, solidly for 2 years since COVID. I was going backwards and forwards, but that wasn't particularly sustainable. And when COVID came, well, we had lockdown, I couldn't travel. And then I said, you know, to hell with this, I'm just going to stay here. I love it here. This is the life I want to live. I'm going to stay here. So really 2 years solid, but it was since 2003 we bought the land, so it was on and off. But now I'm Greek.
What made you choose Greece, this country,
This country.
to promote your project?
Well, but my wife's half Greek, which is part of the reason, because she showed me the beauties of Greece, the people, the environment, the food. Everyone knows from a tourist point of view, it's amazing. But we also choose Greece because there's so much sun. And if you want to prove that sustainability can work, if you can live off-grid, then it's an obvious place to start. If you can't make it work in Greece, you can't make it work anywhere, because we have so much sun here. Something like 300 days of sun a year. So it should be easy. It's not easy, there are some challenges, but it's definitely doable, and I want to show you in the next in this video how it works.
Yeah, I'm anxious. I can't wait.
Don't worry, I'm going to show you. But we chose Greece because it's possible here. We have enough rain to farm the land, we have enough sun for the energy, but also in Greece we don't use enough renewable energy. Currently, renewable energy is around 25%, 30% of the overall mix, and that's far too low in my opinion. It should be the other way around. It should be 70 to 80% should be renewables, and we just have a small amount of fossil fuels. Actually, this is very important. We must stop burning fossil fuels now, and we can do this. There will be challenges, but it's absolutely doable, and I've proven it, and I want to show you how that works.
However, we don't have sunshine today, for example. What are you doing when you don't have sunshine?
It's a very good question, because during winter we have less sun. So we have a storage, we have battery storage. We have 28 kilowatt hours of battery storage in the house, and we have another 24 kilowatt hours in one of the cars. So we use the car to power the house.
Ah, you use the car to power the house.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's called a vehicle to house, or V2H for short.
You will show that.
I'm going to show you that in a minute. But this is very important, because with renewables, it's like free energy almost. You have to buy the kit to start with, but over the period of 25 years, which is the life of a solar system, it doesn't actually die, but it's just the performance decreases over time. But over that time, you will the payback if you use net metering is about 7 years. So after 7 years, and it's all profit. But how do we cope with less sun was your question, and it's a very valid question. You need storage. So it's a weakness of renewables because right now there's no wind, there's no sun, and therefore we have to run on batteries. But fortunately we do have enough battery storage. I'm going to show you that. But ideally we would have interseasonal storage, and that would mean you produce energy in the summer and you store it for the winter, because in the summer we produce too much energy. I can't use it all. I mean, it's just so much. In the winter it's the opposite. So if you had a graph, it would be a peak in the summer and a trough in the winter, and this is exactly the issue you describe. How do you do that? You need storage. So one of the storage solutions we have is to have a thermal store in the basement, and that means we can use some of that energy to heat the house during the winter. But ultimately it would be hydrogen that would provide that, because if we can produce hydrogen in the summer, we could store it for the winter. Now the problem there is that the technology is very nascent. It's existed for a long time in a laboratory level, but not for day-to-day use. And this is one of the ongoing projects we have. So here we're always inventing and having new projects, and hydrogen is one of them, because we want to be more relaxed in the winter, because currently it's a bit tough, but it's fine. It's not that bad.
That means you came in contact with Mike, huh? Kalogerakis.
Yes, well I've seen your videos.
Yeah.
He's a real character and he's made very good progress, and we're talking to him. We're trying to get him to come over and do a technology share. I mean, much of this stuff is on YouTube videos, but we want to work with real people who are Greek and local. And come this time next year, hopefully we'll have our first prototype working.
You said you save money.
Yes.
But someone could tell you that, okay, how much does it cost you to buy all these panels and equipments?
Yes, I mean, it's a good question. When we first did the project, when we first started, what was it, in 2003, the cost of a solar panel was very expensive. But now the cost has come right down through industrialization, obviously. A cost of a panel, which is the size of a door, 1.6 meters by 0.9 roughly. You can get them wholesale for around 60 euros. You can pay 100 euros from a retailer. And that's nothing. A door costs that. If you go to a hardware store, you'll find a similar cost. So the cost of the panels is very, very low. But you need more than that. You need inverters to take the DC to AC for the house. An inverter might cost 3,000. And you might need more inverters if you have a big system like ours. We have a 12.5 kilowatt system. And we have 3 SMA grid-tied inverters, and we have 2 SMA sunny islands, which are battery chargers. So overall, there's a calculation. You can say a 12.5 kilowatt system should cost 12,500 euros. This is a minimum. That's like 1-to-1. 12.5 kilowatts, 12,500. But if you're off-grid, it's more than that. It's more like double that, 25,000. And in reality, there's other things you need, like safety fuses and so on, and the cables and so on. So call it 30,000 is a fair figure. But over the lifetime, I would save 100,000 easily, more like 200,000. So when people say, "Oh, it's all right for you, David, you had the funds to make this," I say, actually, you're the rich guy here, because you can somehow afford not to do it. So really, the logic is it does save you money. It's kind to the planet. It's better for you, and it does save you money. I mean, it's incredible. I'm going to talk to you about the electric car charging next, and this is where the savings are very graphic.
All right. Well, I can't wait. Show me things.
Yeah.
Let's go. You have climbers here, eh?
Yeah, we're very lucky.
That's why all these cars. Very popular
right.
place.
I mean, we were just.
Reminds me of Kalimnos Island.
It's a very fortunate.
So you have your own station here.
So we have 3 charging points, and this is one of them. So actually, it's a public charging. It's on my land, but
you made it.
We made this everything.
And it's free for anyone.
It's free for anyone.
So if you stop here with an electric car, you charge it.
Yes, but it would be polite to ask me first. But,
yeah.
Yes.
Here, in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. So, and the reason we're doing this.
It's a Nissan.
It's a Nissan Leaf, and it was car of the year 2011. It's a very robust car, and it's zero maintenance virtually. Okay, you have to change the tyres in the normal way, the windscreen wipers, but that's it. There's only one moving part, which is it's the rotor in the motor.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't got pistons, camshafts, carburetors, crankcases, none of that.
But you have expensive batteries when you have to buy them.
We have, it's part of the cost of the car, but they're long life batteries. I mean, they do deplete over their lifetime, but it just means you have to charge it more often, and it's really not a big deal. So, and it's not that expensive. We bought these for £5,000 from the UK from a salvage auction. We fixed them because we're about sustainability. We don't like to buy new things if we can help it. We try to buy used things and repair them. So we bought this, and it's been going for, I don't know, this particular one is 2 years.
2 years old.
It's 2 years old, and it's zero maintenance. There's nothing to go wrong with it. It's just the easiest car in the world, and we've been using electric cars for 3 years, and we've not paid one penny in benzene, nothing on petrol, and we pay nothing for the energy for the house. So imagine that. Just do a little mini calculation.
Yeah.
How much money do you spend for your energy? How much money do you spend on petrol? I spend zero. So this is the point. There's an initial investment, but the payback is huge over time. And for an electric car that is solar charged, by our calculation, it's 7 times cheaper than with petrol. No one is telling this story. No one is doing it. Why? Because then they have no interest. You know, the BPs, the Shells, the Echos, all these big petrol companies are very happy to sell you petrol, and it's important.
But many companies, many car companies have started making electric cars now.
Yes. Well, it's the obvious way to go. I mean, if you look at the first car that Ferdinand Porsche designed 100 years ago in the Stuttgart Porsche Museum, it was electric. It was the obvious way to power a car. Electric motors are perfect. They have maximum torque at 0 revs, which is exactly what you need for a car. But for some freak of history, petrol became very available. Battery technology was very weak at the time, and petrol won the race. But in another scenario, it would be far more logical for electric cars to have won that race, but they didn't. That's history. But now we've changed, and it's exactly the right thing to do. Electric mobility is perfect because you can use renewable energy, and fossil fuels is just killing the planet. The greenhouse gas effect, the climate change. We must stop now, and we have the technology to do it. We have, it's very well known, and we can start doing it now, and we should do it now because it's actually saving money.
What are you doing when your batteries are dead? What are you doing with these batteries? Where do you put them?
Well, we actually
recycle. I mean,
we recycle them. The 18650s. We make. When you say dead, that's possibly not the right word because they deplete
when they are flat. No.
Yes, but there's 100% and then there's 0%.
Yeah.
But to be 0%, well then they have to be recycled, and there's not many recycling plants around.
That's a story. That's a problem.
It's a problem, and it's an industry in its early days, and no one really cares about the recycling. Unfortunately, they care about selling new stuff, and this needs to be addressed. But what we do is we take the half depleted batteries and we use them. We take them and we make power banks. We make power walls for houses so that can power a house. So the question is not correct. They don't just tail off from 100% to 0.
Yeah.
They have a gradual downward curve, and they're still usable even when the first use is not practical. You can use them again for something else, and we do that.
Yeah. I'd also like to tell me something about www.solarelectricclub.com. What is this?
Well, this is the commercial arm of Helios Eco Lab. So the whole development, the house and the land, is Helios Eco Lab, and this is a place where we live, where we work, and where we use for open days and for seminars and education. And the Solar Electric Club is a commercial arm of that. So we have a business where we promote the solar electric technologies and promote that all the ecosystem around that. So that's electric cars, electric car charging, solar panels, batteries, and we have many projects. For example, marine. We have a project for solar sails and marine, because we think it's a big application.
Marine.
But it's very.
You mean for the boats?
For the boats.
Really?
For the boats. So we can. I know that's your passion too.
Oof.
So we can discuss that a bit.
Yeah.
It's very early on. Some of our projects are very much ready for market now, and some of them are in the process.
Oh, good.
So there's always a number of projects going on right now, and also the electric bikes and electric and bike charging too. So there's a whole number. I'm going to show you those as we go down.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. What are you doing for a living? I mean, what is your, let's say, what did you do to take the money to do that?
Yes.
Because
yes,
to buy the land, to make the house, to buy electric cars, to make all this project.
It's not for free,
it costs,
obviously.
yeah.
And I've spent my working career as a designer, designing retail brands, interiors, products, and so on. My background is engineering as well as design, and that enabled me to have a niche in the design market.
Yeah.
And it's been successful. It's still running. I still have clients for design and branding.
All right.
But they said to me, but I would always explain to them the benefits of sustainability, and they understood that.
Okay, that's enough. You don't have to explain more.
Yes.
That's enough. Tell me something. What is this?
What is this? What is this?
I mean this.
This here is.
Just take one by one.
Yeah. This is the inlet for an earth pipe. So so air comes in.
Yes.
It goes down 2 meters down. There's a pipe, and it goes all the way to the house and in the house. And what it does is to take it's for ventilation. So if I want to be a passive house, which is what we are at Helios Eco Lab, is you need to have a proper ventilation, heat recovery ventilation. So by Northern Europe standards, the way they keep a house warm is to lock all the windows and the doors. And the problem with that is that the air will be stale, so you need ventilation. So we provide heat recovery ventilation that's in the house I'm going to show you, but the inlet for that is here. So that means that in winter now, the air comes in, and it actually, if it's 0 degrees outside, underground it's something like about 10 to 15 degrees. So it warms the heat, it warms the air as it goes into the house.
Ah.
And therefore we can have, you don't have cold air when you have when you ventilate the house. And not only that, the exhaust air from the house, which is warmer, heats up the inlet air, which is called heat recovery.
Okay.
So it's an earth pipe.
Good.
Yeah.
Water. Where does the water come from?
The water, actually, it comes from the community. So half-half. So the community water provides half of our water. The other half comes from rainwater harvesting. Ah,
you have rainwater.
We have rainwater harvesting.
You collect it?
We collect it. So from here you can see, if you point the camera, we can see that there's a green roof.
Yeah.
Which is, it regulates the temperature of the house, and also has a decorative quality. And it's also it saves putting ceramic tiles. But the water story is we collect the rainwater from the house. We put it in a basement cisterns, and then we pump it to the top of the house, which is there's some tanks up there. And then we feed the garden. So we water the garden with rainwater.
Ah, good.
And we can do that up until about the middle of the summer, and then we have to use community water.
You have trees. What kind of trees are these?
So they're local trees. So we have rothy, pomegranate, sika, fig, and apricot. Some olive and some.
There are so many things that I want to ask you.
Yes.
It seems to be endless.
It is, because it's about sustainability, and sustainability is not just one thing. It's not just energy. It's not just solar panels. It's how we eat, how we live.
Exactly, how we eat. I mean, what is the relationship between solar energy and the Helios Eco Lamp with food, for example?
Well, food, we try to grow our own as much as possible.
I will show you later.
Yeah, I'm going to show you later, but I mean, generally the objective is to be zero carbon, which means really the energy. We're not burning petrol. We have a petrol generator backup because you have to, but we try to use it as little as possible. But it's also about zero waste, and what that means is less packaging, as little as possible, but also the toilet waste, the kitchen waste, the bathroom waste. That feeds our plants. So I'm going to show you about that as well.
All right.
But sustainability is everything. It's energy. And it's the food that we eat. It has to be sustainable. It has to be healthy as well.
All right. Let's keep going. This is the electric car that gives electricity to your house.
Correct.
This is interesting. I would like to tell me something about it.
Yes. So right now it looks like it's on a life support system. It's got a cable coming out of the bonnet, and it's going to the house. So I'm going to show you how that works. So now I'm going to show you the vehicle to house story, because it's not sunny, so we need the extra battery capacity in our Nissan Leaf. So if you remember, we have a 24 kilowatt hour battery in the car and 28 in the house, so it doubles our battery capacity, and it makes real sense to use it like that. So what I'm going to do now is turn it on. So I mean, just to say, there is the system we're using. It's a battery storage.
Yeah.
So this is one of the key stories for the future. It's a new paradigm. A car is not just a method of getting from A to B. It's also a rolling battery.
Oh, okay.
Because to us, that's what they are. And there's two ports. There's one here, which is for the AC, and there's one here for DC, which is fast charging. And you can connect to the DC, which goes connect direct to the battery, and connect to the house. But the proprietary systems are about from €5,000 for this, which is a crazy price. And that's the thing with new technology. Sometimes if it's not used widely, then it's very expensive.
In future will be much more cheaper.
It's going to be much simpler. And there's a licensing thing, because that's a CHAdeMO port, and you have to use their license and so on. So really we said, you know, to hell with that. We're not going to spend that money. We're going to tap straight into the 400 volt battery, which we've done. We've put a connector here, and we connect this to the house. Now, I wouldn't recommend people to start playing with a 400 volt battery, because it will kill you in a split second. It's dangerous. But we do it. We have trained people who can do this, and what we wanted to do was to show how it can work. I mean, the technology can be improved, but we wanted to show how you can live with using the battery of the car as an auxiliary supply to the house. This is the important thing. So what we do is we turn the car on, and as you turn it on, let me just check. So there's a warning light, so I have to turn that off first. So I have to. So we have an onboard diagnostic device here that talks to my mobile phone, and I open up this bit of software which is called Leaf Spy, and I turn on the service screen, and then I can clear that message. So first I read it, read the it's just when you do things like hack into things, you get these little things, but it's not a big deal. But you know, we refuse to be dictated to by big companies who say this is how you should use our technology. No, we'll use it how it suits us, thanks very much. So now read them. So now I have to clear them. Summary. Sorry, it's taking a little while. Service menu. So clear the warnings, and here we go. So that will turn off. There you go. It's off now. So now in theory, let's just go over to the inverter. So basically we connect the car to the house with an inverter in this box here. So those cables from the car come up into this inverter. It's a 4 kilowatt SMA inverter, and it's going through a startup sequence now, and here we go, it's on now. So I don't know if you can see that, Joseph, but it's saying 2.6 kilowatts. So we're taking 2.6 kilowatts out of the Nissan Leaf and giving it to the house. Because this cable connects to the inverter, and this cable here goes into this box here, which goes under the road and over the roof into the electrical room of the house. So we're charging the house. We're powering the house because
interesting.
I have not enough battery storage in the main house, So I have to augment that with the car.
All right.
And that's the way we'll live. That's what we'll all be doing.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But the other aspect of that is not only do we power the house, but when we have too much power from the house, it's say in the spring or summer, then we can dump that energy into the car.
It comes back.
It comes back. And if you're grid connected, which we're not actually, but then you can power the nation. I mean, this is the point, is that we will all have electric cars in the future, and we'll all be giving energy to the grid and taking the energy from the grid. So we'll manage to get over this problem of intermittent source. You know, when it's not sunny, then we'll take from cars, or when it is sunny, then we'll dump energy into the cars.
It sounds fantastic, David.
This is the future.
Sounds fantastic.
It is. So great. So come into the house.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
show you
Okay.
How that works.
All right. Tell me something about this fantastic car here.
Oh yeah, it's.
Tesla.
I mean, we have to be thankful to Elon Musk for making electric cars sexy. I mean,
Sexy.
That's what he's done. Because before him, the first electric cars were just
Like boxes.
were like boxes, and they were unappealing. And they got, you know, on Top Gear, for example, which is a very influential car program, many of you already know. But they were just laughing at electric cars, and that was totally unfair. And Elon Musk turned that on its head and said, no, they're great. They're really great cars. So what we've done is we don't let Elon Musk tell us how to power. So what we've done.
How do you have left-handed here?
It's from America. It's an American.
That's why. Because Nissan was right-hand.
Nissan was from the UK.
Yeah.
Salvage auction.
Yeah, understand. Yeah.
So I want to show you a feature of our Tesla Model S that I think is interesting for your viewers.
Yeah.
Is well, the first thing I say to people who come around, where is the engine? And it's obviously it's the trick question, and they point to the front, and then when I open it, I show them that we have a cooker in here, but there's no engine. So what we did is we rebuilt the 12-volt battery, which is under here, because the 12-volt battery we put an inverter here.
Yeah.
How big? It's about it's a 1.6 kilowatt inverter, and we can power a cooker. So what we're basically playing with the idea that Elon Musk has given us. We can do anything we want with this car. And actually, it's a great camper van because the back seats fold down. You can sleep in there,
and you can cook here.
And you can cook here. So it's like
it's funny.
It's funny, and but you can't do that unless you rebuild the 12-volt battery like we have. We've rebuilt it, and it has a higher discharge rate, so it doesn't heat up when you put a device on it. So I can just plug this in. So I can. So now you can see.
It's on.
Yeah.
So
it's going to get hot. So so we've used it. We cook our vegetables on this sometimes if we go on a trip, and it's good fun. And it's just demonstrating what's possible with electric cars. I mean, you can't do this with a regular petrol car. You can have a petrol generator, but that's no fun and it's polluting. This is clean.
Yeah.
Okay. Please come.
Thank you.
So first I'm going to show you where the solar panels are, and I think it's kind of obvious they're on the roof. The shape of the architecture is this very distinct angled roof, which is expressing its function, which is to protect the house from the rain and the sun, but also to mount solar panels so that it's south facing, and there's 15 panels here, but in total there's 54 arranged in 3 strings of 18. So follow me now into the battery room, electrical room shall I say, and so if you see in front of you there's 3 grid-side inverters, so and then there's these 2 Sunny Island battery chargers and grid formers. They're a multifunctional device. And right now, if you see, the battery is very low. It's 40%, and that's why I put the vehicle to house on. And if you have a look, it says minus 3.4 kilowatts. That means we're getting some from the sun and some energy from the car. So minus means it's charging, which is good, but it's coming from partly the car and partly the sun. And if you look at that, what does that say? That's only 338. This is 325. So it's roughly all in. We're generating about 1 kilowatt from the sun, and we're taking about 2.5 kilowatts from the car. So we need that. So we have it's a modem, so we can see it online. We can measure. We can get data from this from the last since 2000 and what was it? 17. So it's like 5 years of data. And there we have the 28 kilowatt hour lead acid gel battery pack, which is by most standards quite small, and it was our challenge to make this as small as possible. And to do that, we use the car as an auxiliary battery supply, because battery technology is not totally clean. There is a carbon footprint in its manufacture, and in future years that will decrease. But we want to keep them small. Lead is toxic. Lithium is not fantastic either because it's mined, and in Chile and other parts of the world, and it's not brilliant. But when you compare the carbon footprint of fossil fuels with battery technology, this is how bad fossil fuels are, and this is how bad batteries are. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So it's much cleaner, but it's a necessary evil. So
this is what ancient Greek said, "To me hieron veltiston." What is not very bad is better.
I guess you could look at it like that. I mean, we should try to reduce our carbon footprint in everything we do, and it's a transition. It's not going to be just like that. There's copper cables. We can't do without those. We're going to need those for a long time. We need plastic sheathing for cables, so we can't get rid of plastics altogether.
Yeah.
But we can drastically reduce what we're doing right now. And there's many scenarios for doing that, and it is viable.
Okay.
Good.
So
come in, Joseph.
I'm coming. Okay. Inside the house.
So you can see that we've used very many recycled materials and local materials wherever possible. So the lighting, for example, the wood came from the mountain behind us. The bottles came from a scupedia in Monastiraki.
Scupedia.
So there's a story behind it, and it's not like just going to IKEA where you just buy from a catalogue more or less.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity to become more creative, and why not? It's not rocket science to make this. We can all do this. Yeah. Some of them are a little bit more elaborate, but everyone can do this. The ceramic tiles for the floor are local. They're clay. There's for the same for the wall coverings. It's a local material. The ceiling is wooden pallets, so that's a recycled material. The stone is local Carista stone from Evia. The windows are double glazed, obviously, to insulate against heat and cold. And we have artworks.
Are there people who help you here?
Yes, we have 2 full-time workers. We have 2 full-time, part-time contractors, and various workaways. Workaway is a platform which allows volunteers who are travelling to come here and stay for a while. And there's a cultural exchange where we learn from them, they learn from us, because community is very much part of this.
They stay here.
They stay here.
They have their food and their bed, probably.
Correct.
And that's okay.
And it's okay, and it works very well because we don't live in a bubble. We live in a community, a larger community, and also a smaller community. And this is something personally I wasn't used to, and I'm enjoying it. But people are people. They have their idiosyncrasies, and we have to learn to get on together and to share more and to understand each other more. This is part of our problem as a society. It's not just technology. We have to get on better together, and learning from each other is very important. And that's why we have open days. People can come here. They can see what we're doing. They can question us. We can challenge us. We're very happy to discuss anything in an open environment.
And about the government, do they know what you do?
The government, local government does. We've spoken to Saronida. We're speaking.
Δήμαρχος. You mean Δήμαρχοι? Local government?
Yes. The Demos.
Yes.
So we're speaking to.
I'm talking about the government. About the
central government, no. Mr. Mitsotakis is very welcome to come here any time.
But he's not coming.
But he's not. We haven't formally invited him. He's a busy man.
Why you don't do it? You never know.
We never know. And you're right. We should not assume that he's not interested. I think he would be very interested. So here's an open invitation for any government or anyone to come. We have an open door policy. We enjoy engaging with people. We enjoy explaining what we're doing, and we'd like to hear your feedback. And when people have fears, people are they're worried.
It's something new.
It's something new.
Yeah.
And instinctively, people are resistant to change. We all are in some ways, and even for me,
conservative. They're
conservative by nature, and it took me a long while to make the jump, and I'm very pleased that we did.
Yeah.
But it's more reassuring if you can see someone else has done it, and it doesn't have to be as big as this. It can be much smaller.
Exactly.
And we can help you understand how best to adapt your lifestyle to a more sustainable lifestyle, either in energy, transport, heating, or just or growing your own food. There's many aspects to this that you can buy into one by one. You haven't got to do necessarily the whole thing on day one. Just do something simple and keep going step by step. And that's what we're doing. Some of the technology we haven't developed it, like hydrogen. We haven't really cracked that yet, but we need it. So we're going to do it. But we have enough that's really working very well. The solar is working amazingly well. The heat pumps are amazingly efficient. The general construction with the thermal mass that stores the energy, the heat energy, and releases it gently is very good. Electric vehicle charging, there's many success stories, but with any innovation there's challenges that we have to embrace.
The temperature is very nice here.
Thank you, yeah.
No?
Yeah. So,
although it's very cold outside.
It's cold outside, and the way this works is that we have underfloor heating, which is fed by a heat pump. A heat pump is what you call in Greece air conditioning.
Yeah.
Air conditioning can either be cooling in summer, or in our case it's reversible, either cooling in summer or heating in winter, and even hot water as well. We have an air source heat pump, We have an LG air source heat pump. They're about €5,000. But if you compare the lifetime costs compared to burning oil, it's hugely much cheaper. It's better for the environment, it's better for your pocket, and the delivery of the heat is very nice. It comes from the floor. And the fabric of the house is massive.
I think you put heat on the floor because the heat goes upwards.
Correct.
Huh?
This is correct.
While cold is downwards.
Correct. So we have underfloor cooling in the winter, in the summer.
Yeah.
But that's less effective as underfloor heating. So in theory, you should have cooling that drops down. And heating that comes up, and it really works well. We don't need to wear. You can go bare feet on the floor because it's very comfortable.
Will you show me what you are doing with your batteries now?
Yeah, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly just show you a little diagram of the house.
Yes. Okay.
How the heating works, and because this helps you to understand the design. I mean. Let me just, So here's, so the angled roof faces south, and that's where the solar panels go. So we designed it this way so it would express what it's doing. You know, these, it says that this is a house that captures solar energy. We have in the basement, we're going to show you the rainwater harvesting. So we use the basement of the house for storing water, which is a new concept. Okay, I mean, possibly someone else has done that, but what we did, we dug an extra 1.4 meters down so that we had enough space to store water. So we store rainwater down there, and we also store water in the way of thermal energy. So I'm going to show you that. So there was the battery that we just saw, but the idea of storing thermal energy is very interesting because currently that piscina is at a temperature of 14.6, and it's slightly warmer than the outside temperature of 12.5. But last night it was almost 0 degrees, and the water stays at 14.6 because water has a very high thermal heat capacity. So this stays very constant. Why is that useful? Because if I want to take the heat out of the piscina and give it to the house, then there's less work in taking the temperature of 14.5 and making it up to 25 or 30 for the house.
A big difference, yeah.
Yeah, this is relatively easy. If I want to increase the air temperature from 0 to 25, 30, it's a lot more energy. So currently we have two heat pumps. We have an air source heat pump, which is outside the air conditioning, and we have a geothermal heat pump, which takes the heat out of the piscina. Now, because there's less energy required to take the heat out of the piscina than the air, because it's warmer, then it's more efficient. And we've got a coefficient of performance for our geothermal heat pump of 8:1. That means you put 1 kilowatt in to power the circulation pump and the compressor, and you get 8 kilowatts out, which is just amazing. It's like a magic trick. No one quite understands that unless you study the physics of it. It's very, very simple actually, and it's superbly efficient. The air source heat pump is about 3:1. You put 1 kilowatt in, you get 3 kilowatts out. But still, there's a big benefit. And we're going to show you the boiler, you call it. It's a thermal store for hot water, so we can have a shower. So now this is winter, and the temperature of our thermal store is 50 degrees, which is very nice for a burning shower. I mean, you'll burn yourself with 50 degrees. You need about 40. You don't need that temperature. And that's no gas, No grid source of energy. It's just the thermal energy we collect from our thermal solar panels, the solar thermal panels, which are down there. I'm going to show you later.
Okay.
So great, let's go down to the battery room.
All right.
So I don't know if you're still filming, but yeah, all the stairs, all the wood, all the metal is all recycled. So this metal is from an old factory, and it's two I-beams welded together to make a box section. The timber is all from a salvage yard here in Athens. And we support what they do. They do some good work. There's some salvage yards, and they take old doors, old timber, and we buy from them whenever we can. It's slightly cheaper, but you get so much more character when you buy an old door as opposed to a new door.
And they are also strong.
They're strong.
Good material.
They're good materials, and they'll last a lifetime.
Yeah. How I will translate all this? That is the biggest problem for me now.
Yes. Okay. Well.
Because you say so many things. I understand everything, but anyway.
Well.
Let's see.
I guess I can't help you, unfortunately. Sorry.
Let's see.
But the bedrooms.
This is for the volunteers, I suppose, for the workers.
Volunteers and also friends, family, whoever.
For mosquitoes, yeah.
We have mosquitoes from time to time, but it's not a big problem. But the furniture, which is handmade, so you know this was a very nice piece of furniture we made from scrap pieces of wood. And,
nice.
It's not so difficult. I think many people could do this if they put their mind to it, and we would encourage that as part of the circular economy, which is a concept we want people to embrace, not just to be blind consumers. Let's take back control ourselves. So please come through. So here is our battery lab, you might say. So we have a number of projects going on. This is a Cocomat bike, and they asked us to electrify it. Can we help them make a public e-bike that is low maintenance, safe and secure, and we're working on that now. So what we've done, we've taken their bike and we've made a pod. So this pod here, it comes off. So we're going to put a battery in here. So this is a current project. So we've made a 14 amp hour battery that fits inside there. We're going to put the controller in here, which is here. That fits in. It will fit in there. Because currently it was they made some prototypes themselves, and it was under, and it was very vulnerable. So we're going to make it all contained in one pod. So that's a work in progress. So this is the solar electric club I told you about, which is one of our ongoing projects to make something which is commercial. So we're also making electric vehicle charging boxes. So this is we have a rail mounted system with all the components, and it's open source. Anyone can copy us, we don't mind, but they must use our platform.
You don't mind?
We don't mind, because actually it's a new philosophy. Everything we do, we challenge the way people currently think. And we think that products are very badly designed because they're not repairable. The right to repair is fundamental to a sustainable society. All this throwaway stuff is just insustainable, clearly. I mean,
you are right.
We can't be doing this.
You are right.
So with this box, this is an off-the-shelf box with off-the-shelf components. But you know, the wiring we developed, and we specified the components. There's a fuse. There's 2 meters, and there's relays, and there's a transformer. And there'll be a microcontroller here, and then there's the plug that allows you to put in electric vehicle charging. So it's a smart electric vehicle charging box that will retail for under 1,000. and it will be virtually the cheapest in the market. It will be the most repairable in the market.
And probably the most reliable.
And the most reliable and the longest life, because when any one of these components may fail, you just take them out.
Spare.
And you put a replacement in, so you can repair it. And this is so important. So from this feature is unique. The platform that we're creating, a platform meaning an app. So we're developing the app now that we're going to be launching.
App, you mean application?
An application on your smartphone. So we already have 2 or 3 of these on our friends' houses that we're testing, because we can't launch it until it's properly tested. But hopefully sometime this year we'll be launching our electric vehicle charging network. And this means, and we're also developing a token payment system. So we're going to be the cheapest in the market. We're going to be offering, the cost per kilowatt hour will be the cheapest. The boxes will be the cheapest, the most repairable. So we think we're going to grow a big market very, very quickly, a big network very quickly. But come back in a year and we'll see if we made that.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best. Nice try.
So that's the electric vehicle charging. Then there's battery repair. So there's a local company that sends their batteries to us to repair. So this is a rather cheap Chinese import where there's no battery holders, they're just silicon together, and it's failed, and we're going to test it and repair it. So this is a circular economy, is to repair where we can. We also rebuild so we make batteries out of recycled batteries. So we test them first. So this one, for example, what is it? Let me find. So this is 1614. So this should be 3000 milliamps when it's new, but now it's 1006. It's about half of its capacity, but that doesn't mean you can throw it away. It's got half, but it's not nothing. Half is useful. So you can't necessarily use it for its original application, but you can use it for something else. So we can make a useful battery. For example, over here, let me show you. So this is a very crude collection of recycled 18650 cells. We put them in a cluster with a inverter on top, and you have light. So I mean, it's really useful. It's not, you shouldn't throw it away because it's got some life left in it, and that may last a few years depending on how you use it. So don't throw things away, recycle them. So we buy these cells from eBay or from any other source. We have a network of suppliers who just give it to us. Just take them, David, for nothing or a small amount. And there's these laptop batteries basically, and we test them by charging them and then discharging them, and then we can find out what their capacity is. Then we match them all together, make a battery pack, and use them. So you can power a house with them. You know, a smaller house or a bigger house, doesn't matter. So this is our battery room, you might say.
Good.
So we have a number of projects on the go at the moment. We have some new batteries here that we're replacing the battery on a nearby farm. We're doing the Cocomat project, many things with Cocomat, and we're repairing batteries for other suppliers. So we've managed to, get a circular economy business going. So it's possible to change track in your life. You can do it.
And it's only 2 years that you have started doing this.
Yes, and it's a slow process, and you can't expect it to sort of explode with success on day one. you have to invest, and I put my life savings into this, but I'm relaxed about it because it's what I want to do.
Right.
It's
The main thing.
It's the main thing, but also we're getting a steady stream income coming in, and by the end of the year, if we can break even, that will be great, and then we can progress. But all the funds will go back into creating new technology, because that's the fun.
Yeah.
You can see from my face that I enjoy this,
Yeah.
and creating new technology is really a buzz. So great, the sun's come out. I mean,
Summer now.
it's summer again. I mean,
Yes, you see.
that's the beauty of Greece. You don't get.
You charge your batteries now.
They started with the solar. So
Yeah.
I turned off the V2, the
Yeah.
V2H,
Mm.
and now we're getting the sun again,
Okay.
which is great. Now I'm going to show you my pumpkins now before I show you the bike. So quickly come up here.
We have the wind now, so the microphone.
We need a bit more wind to make the turbine go round, because we do have a wind turbine. You can see here we have a wind turbine, but it has to be really blowing for that to work. It has to be, the trees have to be bending over before that wind turbine generates anything useful.
What is the capacity of this turbine?
The maximum is 2 kilowatts, but in reality I've only ever seen half a kilowatt max. But really the best place for that wind turbine is on the mountain top behind us. But I don't own that. And even if I did, the cable that came...
It would cost a fortune.
It would be this diameter copper, and it would be too expensive.
Yeah.
But we have a strategy. There are flying wind turbines, like a kite.
Yes.
But that's another project for another day.
Maybe next life.
Yeah, let's have 2 lives.
Like that. Next life.
I don't know if you noticed, but I store my pumpkins up here, kolokita.
Kolokithia.
And
Big size.
and they're big, they're massive, and I still have them left over. We eat one a week, but I want to show you why they're so successful, and so we'll have one later for lunch. You can taste how.
Are you
good it is.
doing also sweets with this?
Everything?
Or cooking? Just
Everything. Soup, pies, everything. But mostly Dωρεαν.
cooking.
Making our own furniture. We had some volunteers from Belgium.
Nice furniture, this.
It's nice. I mean, it has a look of its own. Here's a piece of olive tree that just fell down in the wind, and we made some legs, and it's strong.
Nice.
And fig, some
Here is a
fig tree,
pagaki.
pagaki,
Pagaki.
and
This is a nice and comfortable chair.
yes, with its own unique look.
Yeah.
So we can be exploring different styles. So if we carry on here, you'll see some of our electric bikes. So we've made some experiments, prototypes, I would say. They look a bit crude because they're prototypes. We're just testing the idea, but they're recycled bikes. And we put a big battery. We've got a massive battery in here, and we've changed the frame. We kept the geometry the same, but it's a 72 volt 5 kilowatt bike, which is actually it's a motorbike.
Yeah.
It's super powerful.
What's the autonomy?
Something I haven't tested it to its limit, but it would be, depends how you ride it, but I would say at least 50 kilometers. 50. You can cycle it, but it's so fast that you can't pedal fast enough. I mean, it's crazy fast.
Can you charge the battery when you're making the pedals?
This one,
No.
It has regenerative braking. It does have regenerative, but not with the pedals. That would be, it wouldn't be enough. But you can get them. You're right, they do exist. This one is this one's more street legal because it has a 250 watt motor and a smaller 14 amp hour battery. But it's got a fair old kick to it. It does go. So it has
Uh-huh.
No, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And that's street legal, apart from the throttle, which are not allowed for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But hopefully that will change. One of the features of electric bikes is that the Chinese are dumping electric bikes on us for less than €1,000, and we can't compete. So what we want to do is create a new look, add value, and perhaps if we can retail under a 2,000, but have a really very nice bike with bigger battery capacity, nicer features, then we could enter the market. We think that would be attractive. This is the heat water. So we have solar photovoltaic on the roof,
Yeah.
and we have solar thermal for heating hot water.
Okay.
The pumpkins came from this. We have 4 growing beds on this side of the house, and this is dormant now. But under here is a pipe, and that pipe is this much deep, and the waste water from the house, from the toilet, from the bathroom, from the kitchen, it goes through a separator, and then it comes here and it goes under and feeds the roots.
Uh-huh.
So it's called a wicking bed because the water wicks around into the earth, and the roots find the water, and it gives me these amazing pumpkins. Now, before you say, hey, did you say toilet water is coming here? Yes, I said that. And we tested our kulakita. We took our own. We took a Sclavonides pumpkin, and we took another organic pumpkin from India.
Nothing like this, huh?
And we tested them for pathogens. Because people say, oh, David, you can't do that because you'll infect your... No. There's 0 pathogens in our kulakita. I eat them for 2 years now, and I'm still alive. The analysis said there was no pathogens at all, and moreover, there's more calories in our pumpkins, 40 to 50% more.
Yeah.
I rest my story. And you've seen the size of them. I get 10 kilograms per square meter. So if we did this as a society, we would solve so many problems. One, we would not need to fertilizer because we're using the waste product of the house. We would not need pesticides. I have no pests here. It's perfect. They're perfectly strong. We would solve some of the food problems we have. We just need to be a bit smarter. Why are we wasting good resources? Why are we having trucks that suck out our septic tanks and go to some processing plant? Why not use it in the garden? We need to be smarter. And let me show you more of the separating equipment that I mentioned just now. So this is the workshop. But also, this is the separator that I explained. Sorry, it's a bit untidy.
No, it's okay.
But,
no problem.
I struggle with this. But so this is a waste pipe from the kitchen, bathroom, and toilet. So it comes down at a small angle. It goes around here. It spins around. So that's a solid and a liquid waste. It spins around in what's called an aquatron. And the solid goes down, plop, into a bucket in here. There's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the liquid clings to the side. It's a very clever device. I wish I invented it, but I didn't. And it comes down here into an ultraviolet cleanser. And then it goes around the back out to the garden that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Now the benefit of that is that I can just put the liquid into the pipe below the plants. The solid stays in here. The solid is where most of the pathogens are anyway. And if I can separate the solid and the liquid, then the solid can decompose aerobically, and that means there's less smell. There's virtually no smell, because can you smell any caca? Nothing. So that's because it's aerobic, which means with oxygen. When you have a septic tank, you get the water and the liquid, so the liquid and the solid mixing together, and it decomposes anaerobically without oxygen, and that's when you get methane, and that makes a horrific smell. So not only that, is you get beautiful fertilizer. You get the caca becomes fertilizer, becomes beautiful soil. So you can have a look in there if you want, but there's 4 compartments and they spin around. So when one is full, you turn it around and you put another one in, so it will stay there. So I would change that, say, once a month, and then the solid will decompose for another 2 or 3 months, and then we take it out and we put worms in there. So squilicky. So in here, this is it's caca, but also
this is shit.
This is shit,
but no smell at all.
You smell nothing, and it's actually. Let me show you. I mean, and funnily enough, you get plants growing because there's seed still. In the bread, we can't digest some seed. It just stays in the caca.
Yes,
and it grows. That's how nature intended. That's what seeds are for. So animals eat them and they spread the seed, so it grows. So you can see here. In this, look, you can see some of the nice worms. Can you see them?
Yeah.
So it's still digesting. It's not fully decomposed yet, but the worms love it, and they're our friends.
Of course.
Look at them. Look, they're very happy here, and it's not something to be squeamish about. We really need to change our priorities in life. We have to face the fact that we produce waste and we can use that waste. Why are we so eager to pour detergent and sterilizers on everything? Come on, relax a bit and use this for something useful. Not pay someone to pick it up. Use it, sell it. This is valuable. This is full of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, perfect for growing. And to waste it is a crime.
Fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic.
But this is a solar sail. So this goes on a boat. So there'll be a hull here and a multi-hull or a single hull, doesn't matter. It's a flexible mounting. And this delta wing, a sail is a wing, so it's a delta wing. And it goes onto here, and you can change the angle. So if you have a following wind, you tilt it like this. If it's from the wind from here, you go like this or like that, depending. And it has a solar panel. I'm going to show you how it works when you come back next year, because I need to demonstrate how it works properly. But come and look at the garden some more.
Very, very interesting interview.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying your company too. We can have some lunch later, but here are my other food processors, my chickens.
Oh, you have chickens.
Yeah.
So you have fresh eggs. You have fresh eggs from Alañares Cotes.
So they have a place to live.
They're out now.
They're out. So here they are, look.
Ah.
Now look at these chickens. Have you ever seen such healthy, happy chickens? So this is all the kitchen waste, and also from Stupedia, from the local Likey. And this is how you should be keeping chickens, in a nice open environment. Be kind to the animals.
Do they make eggs?
Yes, I have one. This hen here, she's mature. She's making eggs once every 2 days. The other hens are still young, and they produce eggs, and you can eat them. Obviously, we don't like to eat meat particularly. We're not vegan. Generally, we just have them to process the waste and have the eggs.
All right.
Yep. So this here is a hugel culture.
What? Who?
Hugel culture. It's a permaculture concept. Hugel is German for mound, hill, and culture just means agriculture. So what it is, it's a kind of growing bed, but it's just a mound of compost. So we have the waste, the waste from the local farms. We bring it here. The waste from the house. Everything we find of an organic nature, we put on here. We don't discriminate. If it's organic, it's going to decay and decompose.
It returns to nature.
Exactly. So this is now 3 years old, and look at it. Look how crazy fertile this is.
Yeah, it is nice.
It's just
like a small forest.
It's a small forest. I mean, the food forest is a permaculture concept, but really, some of this are weeds, inverted commas, but I don't pick the weeds. Why? Because it's all about making the soil fertile.
You're right.
And there's a whole ecosystem under the ground which we don't even know about. The most advanced science really is still discovering what's going on. There's a balance between the bacteria, the fungus, and the nematodes, and all the other life that lives down. It's a whole new science that we're just discovering. It's not in the old days. In the old days, it was you have to plough the land, you have to remove all the weeds with herbicides, pesticides for the animals. No, this is totally wrong. Look at what we're doing now. We're just letting nature do its thing, and it's kind of just obvious. And look at the quality of the food. I mean, I have the broccoli here. Kale, lacano, and the beauty of growing your own food is it tastes better, it's cheaper, and you don't waste the leaves. We don't waste the leaves.
Cauliflower.
Conopidi, and we don't waste the leaves.
I love conopidi.
But actually the leaves are just as nice. And we'll have one for lunch.
Oh, there is another one. You have plenty of conopedia here.
So this is, many people have their own ideas about growing food. This is mine. Either the wicking bed or this hugel culture. It's a growing bed, and it's all about keeping the soil fertile. And look at that. Look at that beauty. We're going to have that for lunch. And all these are, we'll chop these and we'll grow another crop in the spring.
If you just boil it a little, not much, to be.
This is a little bit crunchy.
Yeah, with just oil and lemon.
Yeah,
fantastic.
This is the beauty of Greek cooking.
Fantastic.
I mean, this is something I've learned. You don't have to be a genius.
No.
Olive oil, lemon, a bit of feta, and it's amazing.
Yeah, you're happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Να και εκείνη η γη.
I'm going to take some leaves as well, because they taste nice, and we don't waste anything. We eat it. It's all nutritious and tasty and nice. Let's go for lunch.
Thank you very much.
My
It was
pleasure.
very interesting.
My pleasure.
I wish you all the best. Have success, because it's a very good idea. And I hope people listen to you and try to do the same. I don't know how easy it will be, but
We'll see. So please come back in a year when some of our inventions are a bit more mature.
Definitely.
Good luck with your plans as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.